Help! Help! Anybody! Anybody!
Would you watch my YouTube show? I'd watch my YouTube show. I'd watch it hard. Sick freak.
Hey, I pissed my pants like 6 times already, man. I'm starting to get a rash. I'm Jake.
I'm Ken,
Welcome to the Weekly Pickup.
and this week, if you have $79.95, you can afford to buy the Grateful Dead pay-per-view of their Fare Thee Well tour. It'll be the last of their shows, allegedly. Apparently, their farewell tour. I say that allegedly.
Yeah, how many people say that? Right?
Yeah, lots of bands, Kiss, the Eagles, but they will be taking place first at Levi Stadium in Santa Alta, California, and then Chicago Soldier Field will be the last 3 shows. You can have all 5 nights for that low price of $80. I mean, I'm not a big Grateful Dead fan, but let's say it was one of your favorite bands, band you're big into, and you can't go see them live, but you can pay $80 to watch them live on pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
Would you be, now, you're buying all 5 nights though, or would you just want to see maybe like the first night and like the last night?
Well,
The first night in California and that last night in Chicago.
Well, with concerts, I mean, it's unpredictable what can happen at any of the shows. Like one night might be the same set, but you know, depending on the crowd, you never know what's going to happen. You might have a totally different vibe. You know, they might, pull out something new on that show. I think it'd be cool, especially with technology. They have DVRs, you can record this stuff. I think if you're a diehard fan and you want to pay that money, I would. I mean, think about all the other things they have on pay-per-view. They have boxing, and they have, big WrestleMania fans. Like, how much do you pay for, a WrestleMania package on pay-per-view?
So recently, one of the biggest song, actually the first song, the longest reigning song to be number 1 of this decade has been Uptown Funk. And the first time you heard it, what decade did you think that song belonged in?
Probably late 70s.
Late 70s?
If I had to pick a time.
Early 80s, something like that. So that got me. First time I heard it, I'm like, man, is this some old song that I've never heard before? Is this Bruno Mars doing a cover or something? No, it was a completely original song that sounded like it should have been made 30 years ago. And that got me thinking. Arctic Monkeys, the Black Keys, lesser known, probably one of the bands that actually started that whole sound was Priesties. Rock bands that sound like they should have had their songs
from a different time. Yeah.
Then I heard a song called Shut Up and Dance, and the first thing I thought of when I ever heard it, I was like, this sounds like an Eddie Money song. It has an Eddie Money sound to it.
Spot on.
So why do you think these bands now are going, what do you think is up with this craze right now with that? We already covered cassette tapes and records making a comeback. We now watch the actual musical sound coming out now. Like, what do you think? Do you like it? Do you find it refreshing, or do you find it like, I didn't like that song I didn't like that song 10 years ago.
Or that genre.
That style.
Well, I mean, I like it. I don't personally, like, there's a lot of bands that I like. Would I go out of my way to listen to them? No. But I can appreciate what's going on, because a lot of music, especially leading up till now, has been a lot of like overproduced, very using the latest technology, using the latest recording styles, the software. When it comes down to it, you can just tell it's just very overproduced. And then you have music like this that's kind of bringing it all back. It has more of a raw sound. It's just very, very traditional, authentic sound. I like it. I really do. Also, it's just it's a change on the radio. When you listen to the radio, it's something different. You get to, especially for a lot of like younger like generation, like people younger than we are, may have never been exposed to that kind of music, so it may open the door for them to, oh, well, you know, I heard that these guys, they kind of sound like this, and, you know, they can introduce them to some of those older classics, that kind of music that really, I don't know, that really influenced a lot of people. You were talking about Bruno Mars and like the Arctic Monkeys and stuff. Even Meghan Trainor's song "Dear Future Husband." When you listen to it, it sounds like it almost sounds like, especially the music, it sounds like a song you'd hear off of like Hairspray, or like it's a very like 50s bebop, you know, style song. Even that, like, I don't really care for the song, but definitely a throwback there with the music.
She does kind of look like a blonde John Travolta. Especially even Bruno Mars, though. Bruno Mars, for me, most of his songs that I hear, I'm like, Bruno Mars could have been the biggest act in 1986. He could have been huge. He's huge now. But back then, he could have been even bigger, because his song, Locked Out of Heaven, by Bruno Mars. First time I heard that, I was like, this sounds identical to The Police. I honestly thought that could have been a Police song, you know, except for with Sting singing it instead of Bruno Mars, but...
Yeah, but Bruno Mars did the right move. He, instead of producing a song, I don't know, that kind of just fit in with everything else that he's done. Not saying it's bad or that it's good, but he kind of, I don't know, he kind of threw us a curveball there and ended up working out really good. Because, I mean, maybe that kind of song, it can go either way.
I wasn't even a Bruno Mars song, was the weird part. I don't remember the...
That is true. We give Bruno Mars credit, but... Wasn't he actually just featured in the song?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he sang more than the actual... I couldn't tell you the artist, and I apologize. We should know this coming into the show. But no one thinks of the other guy. Everyone's like, oh, Bruno Mars. Well, Bruno Mars, not Town Funk.
It's his voice, man. Like people are gonna probably go to that first. Either a vocalist or a lead guitarist. The bassist is always last.
Oh. Even the keyboard player is ahead of the bassist.
Yeah.
Unless you're Geddy Lee.
Yeah, unless you're Geddy, because you are if you can be the bassist and the front man, like, and trust me, I have respect for bass players because they are, bass is what really holds, bass and drums, that's what holds the band together. It really fills in.
I mean, even Slayer, though, everyone thinks Kerry King first, no one thinks Tom Araya. He's the afterthought. And he's like the lead, everyone knows who he is, but he's the lead singer. And the bassist, but everyone's like, oh yeah, Kerry King, because he goes...
Exactly like
that. Because that actually is how Kerry King, all his solos sound just like that. I am not making that up. Go pick a Slayer song, listen to solo. It's like... So what do you guys think? What band is gonna... We want to hear from you. We probably won't, but we want to. What band do you think is 20 years down the line, people will say, oh... That band did it first. That artist did it first. You know,
of our
musical generation, from the year 2000,
yeah.
The year 2000 until present, in the last 15 years, what band was the band that started a musical revolution?
Or a trend, or anything,
a trend, something that everyone's like, oh yeah, that's the band that did it. It was them. I mean, who knows? Maybe somebody's gonna say it was like Buck Cherry. Or some other crappy, horrible band that's going to be revered as gods within the next 20 years.
Alright guys, if you want to support the show, we have our t-shirts here. We previewed them on a previous episode. These are one-of-a-kind design t-shirts from Custom Tees out of Hermitage, PA. If you want one, you can message us in our any one of our social media sites. Ask for a specific size you want. We will try to get them to you as soon as possible. $15 for small, medium, large, and extra large. If you're going to want a 2X or bigger, we're going to have to charge you $17. You know, that's just the way it goes. But you guys want them, just ask for them. Also, when you buy these shirts, they are made by people with intellectual disabilities, and if you buy more shirts, that means we have to go back and get more. So it really helps them out. It's able to, allow them to keep their job. They do very fine work. Like I said,
these are good t-shirts. They're a fine quality t-shirt.
Yeah, this is a custom design. They did a really good job on it. So please support us and support them at the same time. Make sure to like us on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
And come back here next week and watch us again sometime.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Deuces!